Pelosi made the announcement in a video this morning. She said with a grateful heart, she looks forward to her final year of service. And the first trailer is being released for the Michael Jackson biopic, Michael. The film stars the King of Pop's nephew, Jafar Jackson, and follows his rise to superstardom. The rest of the cast includes Kendrick Sampson, Miles Teller, Coleman Domingo, and Nia Long as Katherine Jackson. Michael is set to hit theaters on April 24th, 2026. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers extended their winning streak to 5. They held on to beat San Antonio Wednesday night 118-116 at Crypto.com. The Lakers did a nice job defensively on Victor Wembanyama. Double teams throughout the game limited the 7'5" star to 19 points. Wembanyama made only 5 of 14 shots, had 5 turnovers, and fouled out with 1:40 left in the game. Luka Doncic had a game-high 35 points, 8 in the fourth quarter. DeAndre Ayton had 22 points and 10 rebounds. The Lakers are 7-2. They have the NBA's third-best record behind Oklahoma City and Chicago. OKC is 8-1, Chicago 6-1. The Lakers start a 5-game road trip Saturday in Atlanta. LeBron is not making the trip. He'll stay in LA to continue getting treatment for his sciatic nerve condition. No update on when LeBron will be ready to make his season debut. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the voice of reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed. I'm glad to have you tuned in to our show today, and some great guests already, and we got some great guests lined up in front of me right now. Let me just say this first before I get to Bryce and Adrienne. We are a busy station here in Southern California. I'm grateful that this program is heard across the country, but we are awfully busy here in Southern California right now at my home station. We have a town hall meeting tonight in Altadena where we are wrestling with these precious souls, so many of them African-American who lost everything in the fires in Altadena. So we got that going on tonight. And a campaign regarding Southern California Edison. So we're busy on that front, but it is also the case that today and tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, my home station here in L.A. Is involved in a St. Jude Children's Research Hospital activation. And so all of my hosts here in L.A. Today and tomorrow are doing their part to help raise support for St. Jude. And my connection to St. Jude is pretty storied. Phil Donahue was my hero. You all recall Phil Donahue, one of the best to ever do the talk show thing. And I had no idea as a kid growing up in Indiana that I would ever meet Phil Donahue. I watched him every day when I got out of school. But who knew that I'd meet Phil Donahue? He and I became friends. He passed away not too long ago. But I miss Phil Donahue, and I would check in with him all the time. I was honored at one point. He'd long since retired, but I had a book come out one year, and I was on tour, and in New York at the 92nd Street Y, I asked Phil Donahue if he would interview me about my book. And so we had a packed house at the 92nd Street Y, and I finally got my opportunity to be interviewed by the great Phil Donahue in New York City. So I'm friends with Marlo Thomas. They were married for many, many years. So Marlo and I are friends, and at her invitation, I have been to Memphis a couple of times to visit St. Jude's. I know the family. Of course, Marlo's father, Danny Thomas, founded St. Jude. So I know the family. I know Marlo was friends with Phil. I've been to Memphis a couple of times to go to St. Jude. And so it is my great honor. We are humbled here in L.A. For 2 days this week, Thursday and Friday, to be engaged in this activation for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, raising resources for them because so many of these precious babies happen to be black and of color. And so we're doing our part on this front to help out St. Jude. To that end, I am pleased now to have a conversation for a few moments here with 11-year-old Bryce and his mother Adrienne to share their hopeful story of Bryce's diagnosis with sickle cell disease as an infant to becoming a healthy preteen thanks to a bone marrow transplant from St. Jude. Adrienne, good to have you on this program. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having us, Mr. Smiley.
Good to have you on the program. Did I say Bryce is 11? He's 13 now. Bryce, how are you today? I didn't mean to offend you calling you an 11-year-old. You are 13 now. Forgive me for that. How are you today, Bryce?
I'm doing great, and you didn't offend me at all.
Okay, I appreciate that. I don't want to get into it with Bryce because if Bryce ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So I don't want to make Bryce unhappy. So that's a good thing. I don't know why I said 11. He's 13. So let me just start with you, Adrienne. Tell me the story right quick of Bryce and this diagnosis as an infant, and we'll jump from there.
Sure. As you can imagine, just being a new mom, really excited to bring my son home. And just so thankful to just be a part of, just start that journey. And so I guess at about 7 weeks, we got a call, actually a visit to our home. And we were informed that Bryce has sickle cell disease. Mm-hmm. So from that moment, it's just so many emotions, so much fear, so much anxiety, because it would be just unknown, uncharted territories. So not knowing what to expect. Not much information or direct dealings with anyone with sickle cell disease, so it was quite new and scary for us. Mm-hmm. So for, I guess, 7 weeks old until about 11 years old, it was quite the journey with my son. just an emotional roller coaster ride, feeling so hopeless, but just so thankful that as soon as that news was delivered to us, our friends, our communities with St. Jude, just really just walked that journey from the beginning until the cure with my family.
Yeah.
So a lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot of limitations and restrictions for Bryce. But now that we've reached this journey, it's almost just a new child, and so much that this hospital, this great institution, has done for my family.
Yeah. Tell me more about this journey, Adrienne. What is it like to be the mother of an infant who is diagnosed so early on with sickle cell? Just tell me more about this journey of navigating these ups and downs of his illness.
Yes, I think the scariest part was feeling so helpless. With sickle cell disease, there are chronic episodes of pain that go deep into your bones. So just being a new mom, thinking I could massage or touch him or hold him, really you have an infant that can't use words. So you have to learn to look at nonverbal cues, body language, but just really feeling so hopeless because at the time, just processing the news, but watching my son cry in ways that I could never imagine he would because he was in such pain. So going to St. Jude, being educated on this is not the end of the journey, but you have partners who are going to navigate each chapter with you. So we began our journey. But Bryce's early years were filled with so many limitations. He could not go swimming because just the temperature change would set us in a rush to the hospital because of the chronic pain. Sports was not an option other than watching it from either the bench or the television. But as you can imagine, a young boy full of energy, just always feeling excluded, just being limited even with friends because his immune system could not be compromised. So just seeing things that he could not be a part of was really hard for the family.
Yeah.
Travel, the simplest things as coordinating a vacation. It's so many limitations because the trigger, the chronic pain episodes, the rush to the hospital was you just had to factor so much. And then the just uncertainty of, okay, how long am I going to have my child? I found myself being so worried about the end that there were times where I wasn't enjoying the present. And so our friends at St. Jude were there not just for Bryce, but just the emotional, the mental well-being of our whole family.
Yeah. I have a really bright audience all across the country. I don't need to tell them that sickle cell disease disproportionately impacts African Americans. We know that full well. And so this is a story that ought not to be foreign to many of our listeners across the country who have family members, if not themselves, who have wrestled with and are wrestling with this disease called sickle cell. Okay, 13-year-old Bryce, your mama's been talking, but tell me more about yourself and how you navigate this journey. It was powerful listening to her talk about the limitations and friends and things you couldn't do. You're 13 now, but tell me about your own journey in your own words.
Well, at first, I couldn't really do anything because in school, I had barely anything I could do. I couldn't make a lot of friends because I wasn't in there most of the time. And now, I can do a lot of things. I can go outside when it's cold. I usually couldn't even play in the snow. Now I can play on the basketball team. I can do a lot of things. I can do swimming. I could do traveling. I could do anything now. I feel like a brand new person. I feel like I could do anything I put my mind to. And that's all thanks to St. Jude. And I just want to say thank you for that.
We hear you loud and clear, as does St. Jude. When we come forward, you heard Bryce say he can do a little bit of everything now, anything he wants to do. He puts his mind to it, and he indeed is capable of doing just that. That is the case in part because of this bone marrow transplant, courtesy of St. Jude, and we'll let his mother, Adrienne, tell us more about that bone marrow transplant when we come forward. Let me do this right now. I'll do it again. As I mentioned, my home station for 2 days, Thursday and Friday, is engaged in an activation doing our part to help St. Jude, particularly on behalf of these babies of color. So many are impacted and find their way into St. Jude. They help everybody, but we certainly want to make sure that those who are in our audience have an opportunity to support St. Jude, you can do that by calling 1-800-411-9898. That's 1-800-411-9898. I know the government is shut down. I know people are suffering. But my edict is pretty simple. My rule is pretty simple. It's not about equal giving. It's about equal sacrifice. Nobody's asking you to give the same that I can give or somebody else can give. But while we can't give the same, we can all sacrifice equally. And so whatever you can afford, we want you to support St. Jude on behalf of these precious babies. 1-800-411-9898. We'll hear the story of the bone marrow transplant from his mama, Adrienne, when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
From Lamert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you got to make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
You ready? You're invited to the KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair on Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Catch at Audubon Middle School in Lamert Park, 4120 11th Avenue. Join us for a day of health, healing, and community connection. There will be health screenings, immunizations, wellness information, a Catch Charter School recruitment fair, plus music and healthy snacks. And it's all free at the KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair, Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Audubon Middle School in Lamert Park, 4120 11th Avenue. Come out and bring the entire family. And if you have not yet checked out our KBLA Health and Wellness Hub, you should at KBLA1580.com. KBLA Talk 1580 thanks Catch Charter School, Prudential, Eastside, Cedar Sinai, and St. John's Community Health. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that a healthy community is a thriving community.
That's right, baby.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
He's a paradigm pioneer and the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
Tavis Smiley and 13-year-old Bryce and his mother Adrienne, who are on this program for a few more minutes as they've been sharing their very hopeful story of Bryce's diagnosis with sickle cell as an infant and to becoming a healthy teen. Thanks to this bone marrow transplant from St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I know, Adrienne, this is not my first rodeo. I know that these bone marrow transplants come with risk and reward. If it works, then the upside is amazing, and thankfully in Bryce's case it did work, so the reward is pretty obvious. He can do anything he puts his mind to, as he said earlier. But there are always risk for these or with these bone marrow transplants. Tell me about the bone marrow transplant for your son, Bryce.
Yes, thank you. Well, I am thankful. I'm forever thankful. We're on the side that things were successful. But Mr. Smiley, you're right. It was such a journey. And just not knowing, and I think what was so impactful for me is St. Jude connected us with families who'd gone through and were on the successful side. So I was able to connect and just have honest conversations and questions and express my fears, so we were guided there in a very supportive way. But then you're faced with the day of, because you understand the risk that could happen, but we allowed this to be Bryce's decision, right? But we were nervous as a family because, again, you're hoping it goes well, but what are the risks? And even as much as St. Jude walked us and guided us, there were still moments through that process that we just weren't prepared for, but we navigated with our faith and our family. For example, after the procedure, there's the reality that your son is there and he's weak and he's vulnerable and his immune system is very, very compromised at this point. So even understanding you can't physically touch him because of so much that he's gone through, and there will be effects to your skin if you're not in the proper clothing. It was just so much that could go wrong. I remember the periods where I watched him just be very nauseous, just so long. And again, it's just part of the process. And then he lost his hair. Bryce had been growing his locks out for years, right, through the journey. But just watching him lose weight, and still there's the fear. We don't know if it will be fully accepted. So there's a waiting period. Bryce was hospitalized for 30 days. And then once he was excused from the hospital, there's a 100-day period where he's closely monitored because, again, we're not out of the clear. We have to make sure that it's been accepted. And we were so supported through that process. There were many days he would have to just watch his friends virtually or from the window, but it was a process, and I'm forever grateful that, we were brave. Bryce was brave. We were supported, and we're on the successful side of it.
Yeah. When we come forward in our remaining moments with Adrienne and her son Bryce, I want to hear from Bryce one more again. I want to ask him about his bravery. You heard his mother, Adrienne, say a moment ago, they let him make this decision. There are all kinds of risks with these bone marrow transplants, but he made that decision. I want to ask Bryce, when we come forward, about his thinking with regard to making that decision. And you heard Adrienne say a moment ago that this, in some ways, challenged their faith. I want to just probe that a bit, what this does for one's faith, how it challenges one's faith when you're going through a process like this. Our remaining moments with Bryce and Adrienne when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail, and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail, because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. BenefitsCheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis, Smiley, and Bryce and Adrienne. I got 4 minutes left in this conversation, which I've delighted in having with Adrienne and Bryce. So I want to talk to you first, Bryce, just for a second here. Your mother said moments ago that they let you make the call. You made the decision. Tell me about your thinking in making this decision to go through with this bone marrow transplant surgery.
Well, my thinking was all I knew was pain. All I knew was the hurting. And God gave me an opportunity and a chance to be like any regular kid. Because I know it's hard to be like that. I know what it feels like. And I just wanted to know what it felt like being normal, not having any pain, not having a heating pad in class. And thanks to God and thanks to St. Jude, I had that chance to be a normal kid and have a normal childhood. And I want to inspire hope in others. If others are going through this, you got this, and thank you. Thank you, St. Jude, for everything.
No, thank you, Bryce, for being so transparent in that response. Adrienne, there'd be no Bryce if there were no you. So I give you the last word in this conversation. You heard your son invoke God by name just a moment ago, and earlier in this conversation, you referenced your faith. Say a word for me, if you will, about what this has done for your faith journey, what this has done. I suspect to strengthen your faith, but you tell me.
Yes, great question. It's just such a blessing to just see the proof, right? And I know where my son started, and I know moments where I gave up, and I just threw my hands up because I knew nothing else to do. But just the way things aligned, and I'm just forever grateful. I never thought that I would see this young man that stands before me. I never thought that I would experience him in the ways that I'm experiencing now. And I know, just similar to as Bryce said, I know what it feels like to cry in the shower because you just lost looking at your child. But I would encourage all families, to give and contribute, because you never know what's around the corner. And St. Jude is a place where you see where everything is going. And they allowed me to show up and just be mom, and they took care of the rest for me. They allowed my family to just be present for Bryce. So many places you go, you have to lead with, what does this financial obligation look like? How will services be scaled back? That never comes up with St. Jude. And it's because of donors and families and people around the world who are committed to this institution curing childhood diseases and cancer.
Speaking of donors, you can become a monthly donor by pledging just $19 to help kids at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital fight cancer and other diseases. And if you put your gift on a credit card, you'll get the new This Shirt Saves Lives t-shirt. I'm looking at my board out right now. Miles, my producer, Faraji, and my other colleagues, everybody in our building today here in Southern California, we are wearing those t-shirts. We're going to post some photos on our socials of my team wearing those t-shirts. So we're wearing them, and you can get one too if you put your donation, your gift on a credit card. You call 1-800-411-9898. That's 1-800-411-9898. This is our way here in L.A. and this station of doing our part to support the great work that St. Jude is doing, as evidenced by the testimonies you've heard today from Bryce and his mother, Adrienne. Bryce, an honor to have you on. I look forward to following your future. I know you got a bright future in front of you. Thank you for your time today, sir.
Yes, sir. Of course.
And Adrienne, what an honor to have you on this program. Again, I deeply appreciate you being so transparent in sharing the story about your family's journey. But thank you, thank you, thank you. All the best to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you as well.
My great honor. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.